Hello everyone. Normally, I prefer to stay away from these sort of topics because I prefer to stay a simple gaming channel, but I felt the need to pause that mindset. As someone who is very connected to video games, appreciates the wealth of free knowledge and resources that exist, and is studying to be a game developer, I'm appalled by what I witnessed. In recent news, the University of Southern California, a college campus that I'm very familiar with and even live close to, has canceled a game industry panel. What is the reason, you ask? It did not have enough diversity. To quote the statement they released, they stated, "We regret presenting an all-male panel and are committed to a diverse and inclusive games industry." For once, I may be at a loss for words. How would you tell the two parties that their seminar has been cancelled? You are all men. We prefer there to be a balance of men and women, and as long as that quota is met, then you are free to present the information you have to share. But it hasn't been, so it won't happen anymore. Or how about, we canceled the meeting because all of the speakers were male. We wasted your time and your educational opportunity. An intellectual setting, such as a college campus, chose to halt a learning session, simply due to the genders of the speakers. Men and women who were interested in attending the panel to learn from those that broke into the industry were denied this opportunity of learning. It all came down to the genders of the speakers. It goes without saying that it's pretty ridiculous. Take a look at the credentials of the three individuals who are going to speak at the panel. They are all CEOs. Think about how much one could learn. Although I will not deny that someone else who has worked in the games industry, male or female, may provide a level of insight that the other three may have not had. That would be wonderful, the more the better. Why, you ask? This is the result of true diversity. Diversity in views and individualities. As most humans generally believe, your skin color, gender, or sexual preference is irrelevant. What typically matters the most to us is who you are, what you accomplished, and what you do. In an event where the three speakers all happen to be CEOs and very accomplished, you can probably estimate just what level of knowledge you're bound to receive. However, it's clear that their accomplishments were not very important enough to allow the panel to go on. You do not simply obtain diversity through different sexual preferences, races, or social classes. You gain diversity through varied ideas, mindsets, and perspectives. If we continue to travel a route where great minds are discarded solely due to something as trivial as their gender identity, then the learning and intellectual capacities of others will be stagnated to an extent. What does this accomplish? By halting this panel an hour before it was going to be held for diversity, what is being accomplished? All I see being accomplished is the wasting of people's time, as well as the denial of a learning opportunity. What's so wrong about the speakers being male? Are there seriously people out there that have insecurities about all speakers being male? What and who are they protecting? There was nothing to be lost by having all male speakers there. Should the event have been planned better, then they would have added in additional game industry representatives who were also female, even if it was to fit their agenda. However, the event's already been cancelled, so now nothing has really come out of this except frustrations and inconveniences. An intellectual space cannot also be an emotionally safe one. What is there to be accomplished when you're stuck within a bubble of tiny fears and problems? Even then, what's so harmful about having all speakers who happen to be male? Happening to not have a female speaker doesn't equate to a lack of inclusion in the games industry. I'm also pretty certain males were not the only ones going to attend the panel, you know. The people speaking at the panel are not there to represent, I quote, the diversity within the USC community. I really don't understand why so many people are looking to artistic mediums for representation, especially when stuff like religion or race ends up not mattering. If it's really so important to you, then you should be attempting to be the change you want to see. Don't continue to simply complain about it and shun those that do not happen to be a part of a minority or something. How will you learn? Nowadays, people are paying a lot more attention to trivial human details, such as their race or gender, when it comes to their works. In artistic mediums, it's like some people cannot enjoy something without looking for representation of various groups. How can we continue to make progress in this direction? At this point, I am not sure what else there is to be said that hasn't already been said. Even if you disagree with everything that I just said, canceling the panel an hour before it's going to be started is incredibly rude, and I'd expect better from a college, but at this point, I am not sure if I should have. I hope they do not remove anyone from the group should they do it again. I also hope that they do not add people solely for having a racially or sexually diverse cast of speakers. Once again, those qualities aren't important. Bring in those that have something valuable to give. All I desire is that students willing to go down the roads they travel can learn from those that have already taken them. I want there to be a lack of focus on what gender they happen to be, and let there be a focus on their experience, knowledge, and advice instead. But I suppose that's too much to ask from an educational institution.